What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video. We got something pretty good today, man. We got this little girl, right? We got this little girl now. I wouldn't say she's a little girl, but she's probably at least 20-something years of age, right? But she's jumping online asking this question. Why aren't men on birth control? Right? Why aren't men on birth control? I mean, I have a few answers. I have two big answers, but very simple answers. I'm pretty sure it's the same answer that everyone else has. Now, for like the past year and some change, I have been seeing a few women ask this question. Why aren't men on birth control? Why can't men be on birth control? Why do we always have to put women on birth control? I don't know. Maybe the first reason is because men can't give birth. Maybe that is the biggest reason. But I mean, hey, she kind of explains why she's even asking, right? She gives a little more detail to some degree. Let's jump into it.
Yeah, if a woman can only get pregnant once within the span of 9 months, and a man can impregnate multiple women within the span of 9 months, why don't we make birth control for men instead of women? Why is it for women?
Of course, this is the girl who's going to have this kind of rug sitting up on her wall, right? They always have these spiritual girls who have rugs on the wall. And a lot of these girls tend to be ran through. Not saying that she's ran through, but generally speaking, a lot of women, man, who look exactly like that. I'm not saying all, but generally speaking, from what I've seen, a lot of them, granted, I came from an HBCU. A lot of girls who look like that tend to have those rugs on the wall, and they tend to be ran through. Not saying that she's ran through, but I mean, for the most part, that's what I've been seeing, right? And a lot of girls who are like that, they tend to have a very skewed idea of reality, right? Now, she asks, well, I mean, for the most part, given that men can impregnate multiple women, why can't we just put them on birth control? Which is true, right? Which is true. But my second biggest answer is women control access to sex, young lady. Women control access to sex. If you control access to sex, then you can control the population. You can control who is a father. You can control who isn't a father. You essentially have the power to literally create a family, right? A man can give you the seed. It's up to you to make the seed, and boom, you can literally create a whole family right there. As if we don't have vasectomies to prevent that. It's mighty crazy. It's time for sis to grow up, right? This is where you're gonna have to grow up. But like I said, I've seen a few women ask this. And a lot of times they will bring up the fact that we have some state banning eating babies, right? We have some states banning eating babies. So a lot of women are really saying, hey, well, no, men need to be on birth control, men this, men that. That's one of the arguments. And it's like, okay, like let's be realistic. Let's grow up here. Just because why even consider that? Why even consider that? But I think women should definitely be appreciative, being that you have a bunch of contraceptives for you to be able to go do what you really want to do, because a lot of women today want to be sexually liberated. You're going to need as many contraceptives as possible just because you don't want to have a child. And many women are jumping into these clinics just to eat the baby just because, oh, well, convenience purposes. I don't want to have it. Now, as I've stated before, women, it's your body, your choice. You should be able to do what you want to do with your body. I don't think any government should be controlling a woman's body. In the Bible, it doesn't even speak against women being able to eat a baby whenever a woman wants to. But see, here's the thing. But the thing about that, man, it goes into when is the baby considered alive? When is the baby this and that? And I'm leaving it off for that, but for the most part, it doesn't even talk about it in the Bible. It leaves it up for the woman to decide what you want to do with your body. So do as you please. But we're not going to take away the fact that a lot of women are taking advantage and just eating a baby just for whatever. Now, for all the women who sit here and say, hey, well, that's not the case, because what happened to all of the women who end up getting raped by one of their uncles or end up getting raped in general? Well, once again, that makes up less than 1% of your people who get abortions. 90% of the women who eat babies are eating it because of convenience purposes, right? They're literally eating babies. So definitely, that's another reason why y'all gonna have to have all of these birth controls, all of these things to prevent you from having a child out of wedlock. So let's go ahead and hear some people out, all right? So someone says, I know she thought she cooked with this. Then someone else says, vasectomy, condoms, brain not working. What is it? Then somebody else says, somebody isn't very smart, huh? Then somebody else says, ain't that what a condom is used for? Then somebody else says, they do. It's called a condom. Then somebody else goes on to say, brain ain't braining. Somebody else responds and says, there is a thing called a vasectomy. Once again, add condoms in there as well. Then somebody else responds and says, I don't think she ever heard of a condom before. And this is why I say this girl is young, right? This is why I say this girl is young. But hey, somebody else says, so condoms aren't a thing. Then somebody else add, because you decided to open your legs. Now I'm gonna go to this next slide, but I'm gonna read the last comment because once again it hits home. But someone says the main reason for this is because it's easier to control one egg that rotates in and out a monthly cycle rather than millions of sperms that are constantly being created. They are trying to make male birth control, but most tests end with males being infertile. It's a work in progress, right? Why should it be a work in progress? We're about to harm a man. Now, many women going to say, oh, well, the birth control harm us. We pick up weight. We have mood swings. I mean, come on, cut it out. I mean, once again, at this point, you get mood swings, man, when you have your period. You get mood swings when you're pregnant. So, I mean, that is just, once again, that's something that you should be able to handle at this point. And it also keeps you from having a child out of wedlock, because most of your women who are eating babies, they want to fight to have all of these rights to be able to do what they want to do with their body. But it's like, once again, you just want to yeet the baby all willy-nilly. Of course, you're going to have some people who's going to have an issue with that, right? So, hey, but, look, y'all let me know down below. What do y'all think? Do me a huge favor, leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel.